In order to appreciate Norton theorem, we actually have to start with Thevenin theorem. Okay. Norton theorem and Thevenin theorem are two sides of the same coin. Typically, I found that students find it easier to understand Thevenin theorem, apply Thevenin theorem, and solve the circuits using Thevenin theorem. In fact, you can solve a Norton theorem problem using Thevenin theorem by just taking one extra step at the end and doing source transformation. Okay, so let us quickly take a look at what Thevenin theorem is, and then we're going to dive into Norton theorem. Let us say that we have this circuit with more than half a dozen or close to a dozen power sources, your current sources, your voltage sources, and close to a dozen resistors, which are impedances, right? Real impedances, and tons of nodes, tons of branches, tons of loops. And I throw this circuit at you and I ask you, can you figure out what is the voltage drop across this 8K resistor, right? Now, if you use, I mean, if this is an active circuit and you have access to a voltmeter, you can actually figure out with the help of oscilloscope or just a voltmeter the voltage across it. But let's say you have to analyze the circuit rather than actually measure it, then it's a pretty tough ordeal. Why? Because we have a lot of branches, a lot of circuit elements in here. But compare this circuit on the left hand side to the one on the right hand side. If I tell you that these two terminals that you see over here have actually the circuit connected to the left, that is actually shown over here, right? So everything that you see over here, right, that is connected here, right, is actually captured by this. All of these current sources, all of these voltage sources, all of these resistors, the specific arrangement, the parallel and the series arrangement, everything has now been reduced with respect to these two terminals into a single voltage source, which is connected to a resistor. And now you bring in your 8K resistor connected over here, and then I ask you, can you please help me calculate the voltage drop across this 8K resistor? You'd be like, yes, I can easily do a voltage divider. Now, is this too good to be true? Or is there a way for us to actually go from here to here? There is a way for us to go from here to there, and that is Thevenin theorem, where any combination of circuit containing power sources and resistances, and I use the word resistance, the AC equivalent of Thevenin theorem. I've earlier discussed phasor diagrams as well in one of the webinar sessions. If we actually have AC sources and if we're using phasors for representation of voltage and current, all the DC circuit analysis tools get applied, and Thevenin and Norton theorem also gets can be applied without any problem. So resistor or impedance is basically the same thing. Okay, so we can reduce any combination of power sources. We can reduce any combination of resistors, impedances into a series combination of a voltage source. So that's this guy. This is the V equivalent. It's also sometimes called V Thevenin, okay, and a resistor. But there's certain steps that need to be followed properly without any type of shortcuts and with a clear understanding of what we are doing. Those steps, and again, we are still at Thevenin theorem. I'm going to create a through line between Thevenin theorem and Norton shortly, but those steps need to be followed properly, and you need to know what you're doing. This is a stepwise process. Identify and isolate the circuit and terminals for which the Thevenin equivalent circuit is desired. Now, this is a very, very important step. When we look at this circuit, I clearly told you, explicitly told you, that I want the voltage drop to be calculated across the 8K resistor. So you create a V naught or V unknown or Vx, whatever you want to call it, doesn't really matter. Okay. And then you say that, okay, this is the voltage across the 8K resistor that I require. Everything else, guys, is the rest of the circuit. Does it make sense? And what I recommend students do when we go through Thevenin and Norton in my program is kind of create this Mickey Mouse type of a eye, identify the two terminals across the particular circuit element that you're interested in looking at, okay? And assume that this eye is looking into that particular circuit element with the two terminals across it. Now, if the specific circuit element across which you need to figure out a voltage or the current going through it is known, okay, then what we can need to do is that we need to take that out of the circuit. And the remainder of the circuit would basically look like these two terminals that are hanging by themselves, and we are looking into the circuit. Okay. The voltage that we calculate between these two terminals will be called the VOC or V equivalent of Thevenin. And the impedance that we calculate in between these two terminals will be our Thevenin. Okay. So identify and isolate the circuit and terminals for which the Thevenin equivalent circuit is desired. Eliminate the independent sources in the circuit. So step number 2, typically the easier step is Thevenin calculation, because when you are looking to calculate the Thevenin, figuring out Thevenin is actually easier because we turn off the power sources. Okay, how do you turn off the power source? If you're dealing with a voltage source, turning off a power source means that you SC, short circuit it. Turning off a current source, and this is something that a lot of students, try to memorize, they don't understand. So it's very important to understand these fundamentals. Turning off a current source basically means OC, open circuiting it, right? This will be shorted, this will be OC, this will be OC, right? This will be OC, this will be shorted, this will be OC, this will be short circuit. Now you can visualize, and if we convert this into a cleaner circuit, you'll basically be able to see that with all the power sources out of the circuit, out of the equation, right, out of our sight, out of our mind, we will be left with a series and parallel arrangement of a bunch of resistors. So as long as you are able to identify which resistors are in series, which resistors are in parallel arrangement, you will be able to figure out the Thevenin looking in through these terminals. And then for Thevenin, I'm just going to skip this step and just tell you that you need to do circuit analysis, use circuit analysis techniques in order to find the voltage between these terminals, right? And KCL, KVL, source transformation, superposition, anything that you want. And then once you calculate the VOC and Thevenin, then you can just put them in series. And now you can bring your, let's say, 8K resistor back into action and calculate the voltage across it. So that's the Thevenin theorem, right? This is how we carry out Thevenin theorem. So what is the through line between Thevenin theorem and the Norton theorem? Norton theorem, guys, is a source transformed version of Thevenin theorem. I have students who actually solve Norton theorem problems using Thevenin theorem, calculate VOC, calculate R equivalent, and basically go perform a source transformation to convert the Thevenin equivalent into a Norton. So how can we do this? We basically, instead of using a voltage source, we have to use a current source. Fine. How can we convert a voltage source into a current source? Very simple. I'll basically say that ISC, or calculate ISC, is simply equal to my VOC divided by R equivalent. Does it make sense? Okay. Which VOC? This guy. R equivalent, this guy. Okay. And then I'm going to put this in parallel. So the same R equivalent that I have over here, I have to put this in parallel. And that basically results in a Norton equivalent circuit. So the 8K resistor now can be installed over here if we were interested in using Norton theorem instead of the Thevenin theorem. How do you calculate R equivalent or R Thevenin? Exactly the same way that you do for the Thevenin equivalent. Now, what is the challenging aspect of Norton? Why is it a little bit of a turnoff for students as compared to Thevenin? Why do they find it more intimidating? Because of ISC. Okay. Handling ISC while calculating, it's basically short that you introduce, and it's a little bit less intuitive handling a short as compared to handling the two terminals and figuring out the voltage VOC. Okay, that's the main reason. But you can circumvent that by doing Thevenin and the source transformation. Okay, so these are the parallels between Norton and Thevenin theorem. And as I told you, they're basically two sides of the same coin. Okay, and by systematically working through Thevenin and even directly taking a head-on approach with Norton is not that difficult to basically work it out. Okay. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. On a weekly basis, I'm creating content for FE electrical and PE power exam preparation. I also discuss topics related to electrical engineering with a focus on power systems engineering. If you'd like to learn more about my FE electrical and PE power exam preparation programs, please visit my website, studyforfe.com.